Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Mammut Seon Transporter 25-liter backpack, which pulls double duty as a work and everyday bag, but also a bag that is going to be able to handle some of your more active pursuits. A lot of the features here seem to be geared towards people that like to do rock climbing. I myself have done a little bit of rock climbing, but I'm definitely not an expert. I don't know a ton about the different gear that you might use for that type of activity. Regardless, the bag has a very well-rounded feature set. I was actually surprised as I looked a little bit more into it. So whether it's rock climbing or some other type of, just gym-related activity or travel, the bag seemed to have a lot of scenarios very well covered. So I was excited to have a chance to use it over the past couple of weeks. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walked all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the bag strikes a pretty nice balance of offering a modern and minimal appearance. There's not a ton of attachment points, compression straps, or anything like that, so it doesn't feel overly technical or outdoorsy. And this is going to allow it to blend in well into a variety of environments, whether you're traveling, taking this into the office, exploring a city, going to the gym. It's offered in a couple of different colors. The version that I have here is the Savannah color, which is kind of a light khaki or tan, but it also comes in a navy and in a black colorway, I believe. And then as far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This exterior fabric on the company's site is listed as 100% polyamide. To me, it feels kind of like a nice polyester or tarpaulin material. In general, it feels very durable, rugged. Seems like it's going to offer plenty of weather resistance. It has a PFC-free DWR coating, so it really feels like everything is going to be well protected from the elements. And then you also have YKK zippers all throughout with aqua guarding on some of the compartments. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you have a nice carrying handle on one side, so it's going to allow you to carry this like a briefcase if you don't want to wear it on your back. Pretty rugged feeling handle. You've got a little bit of padding here, and then it comes up enough to make it easy to grab. You also have a handle at the top. It's not, the most robust handle per se, but it still just is good for picking the bag up off the ground. It's also got enough distance here that it will allow you to hang it in a variety of places if you need to. I was sad to see that there's no external water bottle pocket on the bag. This side here is just pretty minimal. It does feel like there would have been maybe space for one, but I'm not a bag designer. That's just my opinion. So, always something that I like to see in the bags. And then on the front, you do have Mammut's logo, which, stands out a little bit just with the contrast here, but I actually like their logo. It's not a big word, at least like Patagonia and North Face's bag. So, I think it works well. It's not super big. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is that the bag does manage to stand up pretty well on its own. It's got a wide, flat base, and then the materials hold their shape pretty well. So even when the bag isn't quite as loaded out, it still manages to be stable. I could place it down next to me, access some of the compartments. So really nice benefit there. I know a lot of people look for that. As far as the capacity, the bag comes in at about 25 liters, which I've always been a big fan of. I feel like it works well for my height, and it strikes a good balance between being manageable as an everyday carry bag, but still providing some additional capacity. And I like that it also has a pretty slim profile, so even when it's a little bit more packed out, it never feels bulky, and it really hugs my back nicely, making it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. The straps have a nice amount of padding, feels really comfortable and soft right out of the box. It's almost kind of a gel-like feeling padding on the inside. You have a pretty soft fabric here, which has felt nice. It's not maybe as breathable as something like an air mesh, but still has felt really good. Even when it's a little bit hotter outside, the straps also have a pretty good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. You don't have a sternum strap included with the bag, and I don't really see how you could add one per se, but so far I haven't really felt like I needed it. And then you do have another Mammut logo here on the front. I keep wanting to kind of pull this off to see if it's something else or if this is maybe where you attach a sternum strap, but again, nothing included with the bag. Still a clean, useful look. And then moving into the back paneling, this has also felt really comfortable. You have padding well distributed all throughout. The back padding is a little bit thicker than the one on the straps. I kind of wish this had been used on the straps as well, so it feels great. I like that there's also a little bit of elevation here to create this air channel to provide you with some ventilation while you're walking around throughout the day. And then here you also have a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag doesn't go overboard with pockets, but the layout that it provides is very effective. On the quick access front, you have one zippered pocket on the front. It has a well-protected zipper. You have a zipper garage as well. Vertical orientation on this, which makes sense, especially as you're carrying this like a briefcase, or if you have it on the luggage pass-through, this is going to be very helpful to just easily be able to reach down and grab some of the items that you need regularly. A lot of space here. It comes up a decent amount, and it's a pretty tall compartment. On the inside at the moment, I just have a USB-C cable. This is one that's actually wrapped in paracord. I got this from Huckberry, and I was just really curious to see what this would be like. It just feels so rugged. This is definitely a cable that will not fail on me, and so I thought that was pretty cool. USB-C to USB-C. And then on the inside here, I also have my alpaca admin pouch, but with the amount of space that's included here, I probably could have put some additional accessories, things that I'd be grabbing regularly. One thing to note here is that there's no internal organization, so anything that you put on the inside is gonna slide down when you place the bag up. So something to keep in mind. Pouches will definitely help with this, but it might have been nice to have maybe a slip pocket or two in there to help out with that. And then at the top, you have another nice zippered quick access pocket. Good protection from the elements here. And then a bonus with this pocket is that the zipper pull has a little hook on the end that pairs with a loop here to give you some theft deterrence and prevent it from being too easy for a pickpocket to get into this compartment. And so this actually works pretty well. And then the compartment itself offers a nice amount of space. I'm always a big fan of this style of pocket, particularly with a bag like this that stands up well on its own. I can place this down next to me, easily grab whatever I need. And so in this compartment at the moment, I have my sunglasses. These are from Sunski. I'm using a little bit of a thinner case, but it should be able to handle a larger pair as well. And then I have my GoPro here. And on the inside, you have some internal organization. And I like that the pockets have some labeling. So suggestions from the company on what they're meant to be used for. On the back of these slip pockets, you have a soft lining, so they will be good for holding a phone to protect it from getting scratched. At the moment, I'm actually just using that to hold my laptop charger. So the power brick and the cable fit in there nicely. Next to it, you have another smaller slip pocket, which I'm actually using for my AirPods, but also fleece lined on both sides. So, really nice protection there. And on the back, you have a zippered mesh compartment for any items that you don't want floating around. You can reach them easily. In this one, I just have a nail clipper set, and then I have a cable to charge my phone and my iPad. And in this compartment on the back, again, soft lining, and you also have a little lanyard with a carabiner clip that's going to be a good spot to attach your keys or a multi-tool, or in my case, I actually have a flashlight here at the moment. And then moving into the last few compartments of the bag, the layout is set up so that you have one section that's dedicated for your climbing gear or your athletic or sports gear, travel gear. You have a little climb label here, and then you have a work section, which is more of kind of the tech, laptop, tablet area. So I'm going to take a look at that first. And this laptop compartment is well implemented. Another, aqua guarded zipper here, which is great to see. It has this sort of horseshoe style opening, so it's not, full clamshell. You can access it from the top, and you just have some good visibility into the full compartment because you do have a slip pocket on the back. This part here isn't padded per se. You do have some soft lining, so it'll be a good spot for an additional device or some documents, a folder. And then on the other side of the compartment, you have a dedicated laptop and tablet sleeve. And they did a really good job with these here. I like that there is an actual dedicated tablet sleeve that is padded. That's not always the case. You have a little Velcro flap here to help keep it in place. This should be able to hold a full-size 10 or 11-inch tablet. Currently, I have my iPad mini in there, which fits very easily. And so nice amount of padding on this compartment, fleece lining. It is suspended off the bottom of the ground. Same for the actual laptop sleeve. I really like the amount of padding that's included here, soft lining on both sides, and properly suspended. So I drop my laptop in there. It doesn't feel like it's making contact with the ground. So, really checking off all the boxes for what I look for in a protective laptop sleeve. Good amount of space here for the 14-inch MacBook Pro that I have at the moment. This should be able to hold 15 or 16-inch modern laptops. This wasn't actually able to hold my old bulky Acer laptop. This one's around 15 to 16 inches, kind of resembles a gaming laptop, I imagine nowadays, and so almost fit in there, but the zipper doesn't quite close, or if it does, it's really, really tight. I wouldn't want to carry a laptop with that much pressure on the zipper, but again, this is many years old. Laptops, even larger ones, have gotten a lot sleeker, so 16-inch MacBook Pro I could see fitting in there pretty comfortably. And for my devices, with the amount of padding that's offered here, the fact that it's suspended, I definitely feel like my laptop is going to be safe regardless of where I'm going. And then the last section that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment. This has a suitcase style opening. The zipper here is not aqua guarded, which I think makes sense since the items in here are probably not going to be quite as delicate, and it does make it a little bit smoother to open the zipper. And so you have plenty of visibility if you want to kind of organize this almost like a suitcase. And so this is the climb section of the bag, which is meant to house maybe some bulkier, larger items. I've kind of loaded this out with my everyday carry setup at the moment, and I like the amount of space that's offered here and just the simplicity of the compartment. It works well with my typical modular organizational style. And so jumping into the items that I have here, at the top I have one of the newer water bottles that I've been using, one of the memo bottles that I featured in a recent gift guide. And because there's no external water bottle pocket, I placed that in there. The shape just worked nicely with the amount of space that I had left. And then I have a tech and EDC pouch from Lockbee, which I've been using a lot recently. I have my Beat Studio wireless headphones with their case. I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1/2 liter. And I also have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 2 liters. So again, just lots of capacity here, even for all of those pouches. Sometimes I just like to put extra ones in there to see how much the bag can actually hold. And now with the compartment a little bit emptier, you can get a better look at the inside. Interesting sort of pattern on the lining here. It almost looks like rocks or mountain. Hey, get it? It's a climb section. So a nice touch there. On the inside here, you don't have any sort of compression straps, but you do have a dedicated zippered pocket for a pair of climbing shoes. At the moment, I'm actually using this to hold my Toms, which is what I would normally wear. I love to travel with these, particularly as I can dance a lot in them. They're very comfortable for that, but you would definitely be able to hold a larger pair of shoes in here, maybe even some running shoes if you're using this as a gym bag. I've seen climbing shoes in the past. I know they're a little bit bulkier than my Toms. So great to have this sort of separation from the rest of the main area. And I imagine for climbing, people take maybe bags of chalk, ropes, harnesses. Again, not an expert, but I could see all of that fitting in here very, very easily. And then with the amount of space that's offered here, I could definitely use this for minimal travel and toss in my typical packing cube setup. So I have my Peak Design packing cubes here nearby. Can toss in my larger compressible packing cube, and then I also have the smaller one. And even though this is a 25-liter bag, it can handle both of them. It kind of takes up the full space there. I would still be able to use my Toms because they are pretty flat, so they'll pack down easily. And then I still have the other sections of the bag if I wanted to pack my DOP kit or something else. So this is why I'm always a fan of this style of layout, just super, super flexible. And then looking at the other side, you do have a couple of additional zippered pockets. These are mesh compartments. They have a good amount of space. I didn't do anything with this one on the bottom because I had so many of my bulkier pouches, and I had this front compartment, so I was trying to kind of balance out how I spread everything out. But I did end up using this top one to hold the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter, just to kind of see what the capacity would be, so you can tell that it has a little bit of volume, which always makes it very helpful, and some height. You know, this is a pretty tall pouch, so just to kind of showcase that there, so you can use it to organize your stuff if you're traveling, maybe your toiletries, some socks, underwear, change of clothes all throughout. And so I really like the layout and the amount of space offered in this main area and just how everything is laid out throughout the rest of the bag. It feels really well thought out, and I've been surprised with how much I've enjoyed using the bag. It just did a good job of focusing on a lot of the things that matter most. So the padded and suspended laptop compartment, the harness system, the luggage pass-through, the fact that it can stand up well on its own. I do wish that it had that external water bottle pocket, but beyond that, you know, just a really functional, useful bag. And if you're looking for something that can, you know, work well in a lot of different scenarios and offer just a really clean appearance, then this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty great experience testing out the Mammut Seon Transporter over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site for around $150, which to me feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that this has to offer, and it's also going to compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the 511 Daily Deploy Pack that I featured on the channel pretty recently. That one has more of a tactical vibe, but the layout felt kind of similar in the fact that that one opens up like a suitcase, so it's going to work well for travel. It comes in at about 28 liters, so it's a little bit more spacious than this one here. I do like the pocket layout of the Seon Transporter a little bit more. That the 511 bag is more minimal. But it does offer just a nice layout, some quick access pockets. Because of the MOLLE webbing that it has all around it, you can configure it with a variety of pouches, you can attach things. So, you know, it's a very functional bag, but it feels well built. It is able to hold a good amount, it's really versatile, and like this one, it comes in at a pretty good price point. I think it's around $125 to $150. So if you're interested in this style of bag and you like something that's maybe a little more tactical, that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Mystery Ranch Catalyst 26 backpack, which has been one of my favorite EDC bags of the past year. Just very solidly built, really comfortable harness system. That one has Mystery Ranch's tri-zip opening, so you can use it as a top loader. You can open it up so that you have full access to the volume of the bag. The layout on that is a little bit more minimal than this one here, but it still has enough so that your stuff is easy to find. I like that it has the dual external water bottle pockets. It has an external laptop compartment, so, you know, covering many of the same bases as this one here. And if you're looking for a comfortable, durable pack that's gonna have a little bit of a different layout, that's gonna be a great one to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Air Duffel Pack 3, which has always been one of my favorite work/gym bags. Really nice modern style. Air uses some really durable materials, the 1680D ballistic nylon, so plenty of weather resistance. It's got a very comfortable harness system. It has a well padded laptop compartment, external water bottle pockets, and then it has a little bit of a different layout with the duffel style opening, but still just very useful to be able to pack in your gear, access it when you need to. It has a dedicated shoe compartment as well, which I'm always a fan of, particularly if I'm exercising and I have, you know, my shoes or dirty clothes that I want to keep separate from everything else in the bag. So if you're looking for something like this that can kind of work in a lot of different use cases, particularly for more active pursuits, but that's gonna have maybe just a different aesthetic, a little bit of a more sleeker, modern style, and that's gonna be a great one to keep in mind. With that being said, the Mammut Seon Transporter holds up really well against all those options, and it has really surprised me with just how great it's been to use. Checks off so many of the boxes for the things that I normally look for, as I talked about during the video. And if you're looking for a durable, spacious bag that's gonna offer great laptop protection, a nice amount of organization, and that's gonna come in at a pretty reasonable price, then this is gonna be an excellent option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Seon Transporter backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular work and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.